Another shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Another shot is gonna hit you with a mind overloading. The bar is always open with no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. Cause remember, everything we say is just our opinion. But then again, it might be the alcohol talking. It might be the alcohol talking. Let's go.
Welcome to Another Shot Podcast, where our opinions might be real, or it could just be the liquor talking. Sit back and enjoy another shot.
What's going on, everybody? Welcome to another Shots Thirsty Thursday. Thoughts and shots. I mean, is that an original enough name? I mean, pretty much it's getting to the point where most of the shows now are starting, they feel like they're running together. Like, I mean, what's the difference between Thoughts and Shots and Open Bar? You know, we invite people to come in and talk, you know, on every show, and I don't know. Like I said, obviously I've had a lot of time today to spin the wheels, and somehow, some way, I actually got to bed. When I say decent, kitty cat, I don't mean, you know, obviously not 11, 12 o'clock. It's a little later, but it wasn't like one. I actually got sleep. Of course, I had to thank Sarah for, she had the room to the point where you thought you were on the surface of the sun. I lasted all of 30 seconds, got ready. I'm like, I'm going to go brush my teeth. And I mean, just as soon as I opened the door to go back out, like that rush of, like, so nice. It feels good out here, that I ended up laying down. I'm one of those ones that, you know, I sleep au naturel, so not even thinking about it. Thank God I covered up with a blanket at some point, you know, something thin. Because I sat up, and I'm like, do I hear an alarm going off? I'm kind of looking around. I'm like, what is up? What is up? And that's when I realized what time it was. So, ugh. Do you ever have that? Am I the only one that does that? What's funny is we just recently. By the way, I'm going to throw this out there. You know, we're going to get the juices flowing already. I want to thank Miss Kitty Cat, who obviously knows me very well. Not only do I get to try 2 different ones, but she gave me a birthday blessing in the form of one that's 130 on the Richter scale and 110 on the other. But these are my sipping drinks. She got me the Jefferson Reserve and the Maker's Mark Cask Strength, aged 7.5, 7 years, 5 months. So, yeah, let's let the alcohol do the talking. You know, me and Sarah started to get back into trying to spend that quality time together. We're gonna sit down, we're looking for stuff that we would have an interest in. And like you and Blue, uh, do you guys have your own? Do you have a show that you both sit down and watch, or do you just do you fly solo on a lot of stuff?
Watch everything together.
I don't see Blue being a real big Sex in the City guy or anything like that. What's usually his taste in movies and television?
Watch like all the Chicago's, Grey's Anatomy, 911.
Have you gotten into the new season of 911, the Nashville? I have not. I never did finish Dallas. They should, I like what they did with that. There's a few kind of like, really, but I like that one. I liked, was it LA? Was the one? I think they had, the first one was in LA, I think. It's definitely in California. And then the other one was Dallas.
Lone Star.
Lone Star, yes. And then the newest one is Nashville, correct? Sarah even got into that one. You want to know what it is? Her and I somehow, like I said, she's like me. She, Californication. She'll sit down with me and watch that all. I mean, it's almost impossible to go to bed on time because it's like, they're only less than a half hour long. We can sit down and, power through a couple more. Before you know it, like both of us are up to like 1, 2 o'clock in the morning because, it's just that good. But recently we've gotten into that, and Just Like That, which is the spinoff of Sex and the City. I don't know how the hell we both fell into that one. But we dabbled in it. Surprisingly, both of us liked it. We just watched an episode the other night, which, by the way, season 3 is the final season. They're done with the whole thing after this. I guess the girls are all going to go their separate way. I don't know. But there's a character that is going through a rough patch. So she's been talking in her sleep, and her husband has been getting up and going and sleeping on the couch. Or I guess, either way, he's sleeping somewhere else. And they refer to it as like a sleep divorce. And I got thinking about that. Like, that's kind of funny because I'm notorious for whether it's, I'm going to sit down and finish this movie and I make the cardinal mistake of laying out on the couch and I passed out. Or I'll get up in the middle of the night, I'll get too hot, and I'm the one that goes and sleeps, elsewhere. Every now and then Sarah's, bad for, well, I'm not going to say bad for her because it's an every now and then thing. But she's been on almost sleep on the couch herself. But usually when she does that, I'll just go ahead and lay out on the other one or in the chair. Do you guys go through that too? Is it the temperature thing or is there something about the couch? You got nothing on that one. I'm going to say, guys, this particular Maker's Mark, 100% put it on ice. When Blue gets the opportunity to try this one, I promise you it's going to be just a tiny, because if it's anything like what he did with the Egyptians that night, that'll put him on his ass. It'll light you up. It's got but it's not a horrible burn. It's got a really good flavor to it. Which is funny because I never thought myself a Maker's Mark guy. The reason I would buy it because I would do a shot of it if I was sick. because I need something to raise my temperature, and usually it helps out pretty good. Yeah. We're back now. Thanks, Arliss. And honestly, though, back to what I was saying. For me, it's not. I think there's only been like 1 or 2 times that we slept opposite just because we were mad at each other, just didn't want anything to do with. I don't know. It's just, for me, whenever I lay out on the couch, it's just, other than a stiff neck, I mean, I wake up usually pretty damn good. I feel like I've slept better. And we went out and spent a whole bunch of money on the adjustable bed, I mean, it's even got the zero gravity feature, which she hates, I love. No, it vibrates. It's got the massage feature to it, and it's got the anti-snore, so it raises your head just enough. So I don't know. I mean, like I said, last night was definitely. She literally just, like in the last hour, changed out the heater. So I think even she got too warm. I don't know why. I can't figure out why. It's just it's that comforting on a couch. Is it just is it a mental thing? Is it actually because I mean it's not like it's a high end couch. It's just it's got a sleepaway in it. It's got a pull out. Normally those things aren't comfortable. I mean you get a little bit of a cushion on top, but and then here's what's really weird. Like if we go somewhere else, I don't get a good night's sleep anywhere else because of the bed. So I mean, thoughts here, woman. Why do you go out there? What possibly would drive me to want to go? Oh, what's your thoughts on it? Hello, Miss Nancy.
Blue always says that he can't sleep unless I'm in bed. So if I stay up later than he, and on the off chance that I fall asleep on the couch, then he's up 3,000 different times, get me to go back to bed. I can go back and I can go to sleep. I lay down and I'm out. But there are nights where I toss and turn, and he's a very, very, very light sleeper. Very light. So on those nights where I can't get comfortable or something's hurting, I'll get up, go walk around, go do this, do that, just to let him have that little bit of peace. And then I'll sit down on the couch and I'm playing a game on my phone or doing this or doing that, something to just try and get me tired enough to go to bed, and then I fall asleep on the couch. Once I fall asleep, leave me sleep. Don't make me get up.
Sarah has done that to me before. Like we'll be sitting down watching something and I'll fall asleep, and then she'll come over and say, "Come on, honey, why don't you just come to bed?" Okay. Ow. And then there are other times it's like, no way, quit stop. I'm comfortable. Okay, I'm fine. Another, here's my favorite one. You were snoring. No, I wasn't. I wasn't asleep.
I know, I'll fall asleep in the middle of watching a show or something. Blue and I are sitting there. Babe, why don't you just go back to bed? I'm not sleeping. Babe. No, I just had my eyes closed. I'm just thinking. You were snoring. No, I wasn't.
Nancy, tell me you got, can you relate to any of this conversation right now? I chalk it up to age. I mean, I don't know, Sarah's got her spot on the couch. She likes to sit in. I've got my chair. I like to sit in. You know, it's just a comfort thing. Maybe you just don't, you know, you finally find that comfortability and then you don't want to break it. So I kind of feel like, you know, for Sarah, if she falls asleep and gets any amount of sleep whatsoever, she'll tell you flat out. She wakes up, she stays awake. She can't go back to sleep.
Yeah, that's Blue's constantly telling me in the morning when I'm crawling myself out of bed to get Chris up and ready for school. He's like, just come back to bed whenever he gets on the bus. Well, I'm already up. I've already had half a cup of coffee. I'm already moving around. So that's when I sit down and on the couch and I'm doing this or doing that, trying to just get myself calmed back down. And sure enough, I'll fall asleep on the couch. Well, again, if I'm that tired where I'm going to just leave me sleep. He's even said to me, I'm starting to think you don't like being in bed with me.
Guess who said that to me?
Our new bed, don't get me wrong, it's a very nice bed. One, I have to jump to get into it.
We had
So
one.
I have to remember when I am getting up, not just kind of get right up. You have to kind of slide myself out of it so I don't fall. But it's one where literally I can lay in the same exact spot all night long, wake up in the same position I went to sleep in 85% of the time. And it's supposed to have one of those, it's supposed to have that cooling top part so that you don't get, but I'm at that age where I'm going through some changes, and those night sweats or the night hot flashes or where literally it feels like my legs, I can be sitting in the living room. I can be sitting on the porch, negative 12 degrees outside, and it literally feels, you can touch my skin and it feels cool to the touch, but it feels like it's burning from the inside out, like they're on fire. So when I lay down and I put the blankets on and all that kind of stuff, then it just makes it 10 times worse. So then I try and flip this way or flip that way to try and get comfortable. And again, he's a very light sleeper and he doesn't like anything touching his back. Well, if he lays on his one side with his back to me and I push my covers off, then that's hitting his back. Thus, he's grabbing the blankets and throwing them back on me. So I'm throwing them off and he's throwing them on, and it goes on for a while. It's just simpler to go out to the couch, and because it'll lay back but not completely flat, so it keeps me up a little bit, which is a perfect angle for me. Gets my feet up, and I can just relax. If I kick off my blanket, I kick off my blanket. If I keep it on, I keep it on. It's just, I don't have to fight with or worry about disturbing or any of that stuff.
I don't know. I mean, like you guys, we've tried all the different, you know, we've done the cooling top, you know, we thought about doing the purple pillow. Both of us agreed we cannot do a memory foam. That would just be, I don't know.
That's what we just got rid of. We got rid of it. And it was the memory foam was the top half of it, and there was inner springs in the bottom half. It was a special bed that we bought that I actually got right after he came home from his back surgery, because he had to have a firm but not too firm. So I still had to do the inner spring to be able to give that firmness, but I did the memory foam on top to be able to give it a little bit of give. And that finally, yeah. And it's one of those no flip mattresses. So you just turn it. So the hole that he had made, and I turned it literally like every 3 months. he still made a decent sized hole, and
Yeah,
so we
we've had to get rid.
got the new one, and it's a lot firmer than what I would prefer. I'm one of those ones where I just kind of like to sink into things and have it kind of.
So that memory foam would actually be along yours. You want that? She's got a weighted blanket. She got one of those real big, because what was it? They're supposed to feel like a hug all the time. Or I'm not gonna lie, it's somewhat comfortable, but I'm that type of person. I mean, it takes nothing for me to start burning up. Her is the opposite. She freezes.
I do, except for those, hot flashes.
The other fun part is, here's like last night, I missed out on the opportunity, to I'm a cuddler. I'm not gonna lie. I'm that one. I'll put my arm underneath her head and everything, and just I can fall asleep real easy. But then there's those times where it's like, she gets too warm. I'll get too warm. We'll start sweating. Or if I start to get to that point where I start to fall asleep, I guess her and I are both snorers. There's multiple times where she'll wake up and be like, "Oh, I can't sleep like this." But then she wants me to cuddle with her, wants me to come to bed with her. Given that I got carpal tunnel, there's times I'll have my arm under her head, and I'll wake up and my hands just like locked in place, and I can't move, I can't feel, and it's just I don't know. I mean, night restless, is that what they call it anymore? I mean, there's just. And that's one of the reasons why I like doing this. Because I don't need it, because obviously I can go to bed when I don't drink. But I do like the calming, the relaxing. And usually when I go in, as long as I don't party like a rock star, it's relaxing. That's the reason I keep telling her I want to put a nice canter set. Call me old. They tell me at work all the time. But I mean, we're not high end people, but I still think it would be neat to have a nice little spot, little corner of our little liquor cabinet in there, where I could just, I could fill a canter full of whatever I want, a couple glasses, have, get some ice and run with it. And then all of a sudden, I'm sure there's people out there that say you are an alcoholic. Not really. There's multiple nights. I just, for me, comfortable is sitting down to a good show or a good movie and, drink in hand and just fully go chill mode. And it's, it used to be I had to get a shower right before I went to bed. There was no ifs, ands, or buts about that. I could not go to bed or sleep comfortably without, teeth brushed, hot shower. Oh, I'm not a real big hot shower fan. I like it warm, but not hot.
I'm the opposite. I can't shower at night.
She didn't like it either.
It wakes me up.
Showers are weird like that.
It's been that way since I was little. Now I can take a bath. I can take a bath and soak in the tub.
To me, it's just
I
nice.
guess there's a difference between soaking in the tub and taking a bath. But I can soak in the tub and go to bed. Half the time when I were to soak in the tub, you have to check on me regularly because there's times where I literally about drown myself because I fall asleep in the tub. But since I was little, it's always get up first thing in the morning, get my shower, get woken up, and do my stuff. When I did the paper route, we picked the papers up at 3 a.m. So I would go to bed at 10, sleep till 2,
Ooh,
get up, shower, go pick up the papers. It was the bundle route. So I would deliver to the different businesses
right.
kind of thing. So we would do that, and I would get through my paper route and then be able to go home and get through the day. And then by 9 o'clock that night, it was, but yeah, it's always been a morning shower for me.
I can go. See, this is where it gets weird. Like, I mean, I was that guy. I still can take a shower and go to bed. I think it's more comfortable. You lay down, all the sweat, grime, everything. Just it's to me that's comfortable. But at the same time, I'm like you. Whereas in the morning, if I get a shower in the morning, for me to be able to get a shower in the morning, I have to be able to get up with enough time to get a shower. But those nights that I've had one too many and I'm gonna crash out on the couch, or if I do just fall asleep on the couch watching TV or whatever, usually I've got my phone plugged in or just enough power to get the alarm goes off, and it's like, well, fuck it, I'm gonna go out and get a shower, and then I'm awake. I don't know. It just it works both ways with me. But bear in mind, I also used to be the guy that could sit down and drink like 3 or 4 cups of coffee before bed and still go to sleep.
Well, I can do that.
Well, I used to be able to do that. Now, 2 things. One, if I do go to sleep, I'm up at least 4 or 5 different times. I'm running to the bathroom. The happy bladder.
I don't usually have that problem. Now, Blue has that problem. Blue's up 4 or 5 times throughout the night. But
this is why I missed having like a bathroom on the main floor or a bathroom in the bedroom. That way I could just get up, hop out of bed, boom, I'm right there. I don't know. Like today, I was thinking about all this today. I'm like, okay, I got some sleep. I'm awake. I was drinking my coffee like normal. Had a hell of a breakfast. Something I haven't done in a while. I love doing scrambles, and then I saw something on, can't remember any of those platforms, but I basically made a tortilla wrap. And, I'm gonna go a little further with this, put some salsa. Dude, I was living my best life, and it's the reason I was able to get some stuff done today that I said I was going to do. But I don't know. Like maybe I'm just too much of a student of habit. I've said it time and time again. I mean, sometimes I just don't want it to end. I'm in such a comfortable state. Why disturb it by going to sleep? You know what I mean? And then you start thinking about stuff like going to sleep just means I'm going to be going to work faster. There is another thing. I missed my Monday through Fridays. Ever since I started this new job, obviously the schedule's a lot different. And now they want to change it again. Now they want me to be an opener, which works for the most part because it'll get me home earlier up until we start picking up and the sales kick in and it's all hands on deck, no lunches. You're just working straight through till the last car comes through. Who said he's, put it in their ear to give me back my Fridays? And then work, Monday through Friday, have Saturday and Sunday off. I don't know. To me, I think that plays into it too. But now I'm kind of spoiled to where, you work Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday. I've always said that Thursday is my least favorite day because you've already had a long week. It's not quite Friday yet. It's that, man, I still got that one last day to go. And usually Friday, whatever day is your Friday, you can stay as long as you want. I don't give a fuck because I know I'm going to get to sleep in the next day. I become accustomed to liking my Thursday off. You hit the hump day, get through it, and then you get that rest and relaxation, and then you go Friday. It's just, I don't know, it's hard to describe. But that doesn't mean I wouldn't love, having my Saturdays back, having off both Saturday and Sunday, and be able to go back to like I used to DJ Friday nights, and with any bit of luck, I'm doing both Friday and Saturday, and then I'm comfortable. You know. Hmm. We have actually hit the time. Let's do a quick break, and then we'll go on with something else. Sure. Okay. Um. Let's do a GB song. How about that? This part makes me wanna. I like, we haven't listened to that in a little bit. So, yeah, it's right there.
It's got a really closing time. The dance floor knows how to line. They pour the stiffest drinks over 3 counties wide.
They don't put up with ruffians here. They got the country and the coldest beer. And even when I ain't here, it's always on my mind.
'Cause this bar makes me wanna drink all night. Maybe shoot some doubles, baby, hold you tight. Get into some trouble, have you spinning all around the dance floor like we're never leaving. This bar makes me wanna kick these boots up into the neons, baby, me and you. Whatever buzz we'll be on, if I don't feel like drinking or dancing, you know I'm still gonna. Yeah, 'cause this bar makes me wanna. Ladies' night's a damn good time. Karaoke's Friday night, and Saturday's a local band and $3 Bud Lights.
Hey, if you happen to leave a tab, they'll let you pay it the next time back. Yeah, even when I ain't here, it's always on my mind. 'Cause this bar makes me wanna drink all night. Maybe shoot some doubles, baby, hold you tight. Get into some trouble, have you spinning all around the dance floor like we're never leaving. This bar makes me wanna kick these boots up into the neons, baby, me and you. Whatever buzz we'll be on, if I don't feel like drinking or dancing, you know I'm still gonna. Yeah, 'cause this bar makes me wanna. This bar makes me wanna drink all night. Maybe shoot some doubles, baby, hold you tight. Get into some trouble, have you spinning all around the dance floor like we're never leaving. This bar makes me wanna kick these boots up into the neons, baby, me and you. Whatever buzz will be on, if I don't feel like drinking or dancing, you know I'm still gonna. Yeah, 'cause this bar makes me wanna. Yeah, it does.
Welcome back, guys. That was our good friend Gary Burke III with This Bar Makes Me Wanna. Oh, shit, we could almost do that, like, for almost our theme song right here. Hmm. We were talking about sleep, and now I'm sitting here going, we want to,
Take a nap.
yeah, almost. Like, I'm sitting there thinking, sit down in my comfy chair, go up, get my shower. Well, get my shower, then sit down in my comfy chair, watch some stuff with Sarah. I guess the other thing that sucks about Saturdays, you do realize I'm missing Caitlin's games now. They moved to Saturdays. Which, that being said, it's been weird. There was all, when she first started this season, I went to the first few, and after that, I would stick on one. I would, there was always, it seemed like there was always something coming up that they'd end up going, and Sarah, for her part, she would go live and do her best to try and record while she's on there. I don't know. What's when we're not doing this, you guys do have the spare time. What is you always have spare time? Everybody has spare time at some point. And if you say you don't, then that's going to be on you totally. And I say that to everybody. You have to make time or you're going to tip over at some point. With you, I can sit there and say, well, you're the one saying, here, I'll run you, I'll run you, I'll run you, I'll run you. Or, you kind of put it on yourself. Sometimes you have to say, we only do this 4 nights. So that gives you 3 nights throughout the week. I find stuff to do. I find ways to, I make time and all that stuff. I don't understand how people sit there and say, oh, I can't. You have to make time at some point for yourself. So, that being said, there's my thought, here's my shot. When you do have your spare time, what do you like to do? Like, what's your, do you take the opportunity to go eat somewhere? Is it just fucking I'm sitting on the couch and working on this veg? You a music person? Recently, we got a lot of books. It just dawned on me that even for Christmas, Sarah got me more books. So I got a hell of a library, which I'm thinking about starting one out here. Might as well do a book nook corner, 15 by 18 gets really short when you start adding all this other stuff. What's your rest and relaxing evening? What's your, fuck it all. Today's my day. I'm relaxing.
Riley's not at work. He's in his room. Liz is in her room. Chris is in his room. Steve and I are in the living room. He wouldn't convince them to do anything with us. Yeah, we'll go grab a bite to eat together, or we used to do karaoke nights. We used to play games, but 3 kids and all of their arguing and bickering kind of killed that for us. hangout spot. Hang out with our friends, acquaintances.
Coke is now on the list, by the way. We're completely out of regular Coke.
I
So you're a spur of the moment.
sometimes yes, sometimes no. Depends on my mood.
Okay.
I like to plan ahead.
Which most of us do.
But I can get up in the morning and have all sorts of energy and say, okay, well, I'm going to do this today. And okay, we're going to have this and we're going to do this.
Hence the conversation we were having, I think, either last week or not long ago. You that's the problem with making plans. Sometimes it just takes that one little thing. It's like, I'm going to do this. I know I want to do this, but I'm going to do this first. I'm just going to say, let me finish my coffee. Let me finish, when I say spur of the minute, spur of the moment, that doesn't exactly mean just, I mean, okay, better way to put this. It kind of falls in what you just said. Depends on your mood. Okay, so what you're feeling that minute is kind of spur of the moment, is it not? I'm not a big car guy. Do I appreciate them? Yes. Are there certain ones I'd like to have? Yeah. I kind of envied my one boss that I had. He made a comment one time, unless you have cars in the garage, it's not a true garage. And it's like, dude, okay, sure, whatever. I got my cars parked in the garage. Cool, there, that counts, right? In his mindset, because he is a huge car guy, he's got like a certain Camaro. He had a certain Corvette, he's a Chevy guy. So that's what he meant. A collection.
To each his own.
So this weekend, like I said, I mean, it's still up in the air whether it's going to be a group of us or just two of us. I forgot to message my oldest because he had a blast the last time we did this. We're wanting to go to the World of Wheels on Saturday. Like I said, get to meet John Snyder and Catherine Bach. Be awesome. We don't want to do Sunday now because of that big winter blast coming through. So planning kind of went out the window only because nature took its course on us. So we were still wanting to do it. Now, one of the reasons I'm wanting to is because, hey, I mean, yeah, I'd like to go over and see our boys play. Yeah, I have a blast every time. I mean, these guys are not there. They sure as hell don't put on a boring show. But I like to see them do this new duet. Sure. I don't get the opportunity. I have opportunities to go and see them, though. The chance to, for a group of us to go and hang out, kind of just run around and do our thing, work compadres. So one kind of outweighed the other. It's like, all right, I've seen these guys a bunch of times. I know I'm going to get the opportunity to see them. How often, it's once a year, the World of Wheels comes around. Even though I'm not a car guy, I mean, these guys are going to be able to smoke me when it comes to the knowledge of these vehicles. I'm going to go in there and be like, that's a Chevy Camaro. That thing looks awesome. And I guarantee you, like, Dan will be the one going, it's got a big block, 350, blah, 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 and start. And I'll be like, yeah, okay. I took Connor. We didn't ask a bunch of questions. One of our favorite things to do was just poke our heads in and see what was the top speed on this. It's just something as simple as, I think, going and seeing these cars, the rat rod. I love rat rods only because you literally, whatever you find under the sink, you throw in there. Guy I used to work with, he's got a rat rod he built, customized it from top to bottom. He used a frame, obviously, but then like the middle piece was for your arm and everything, an old mailbox. The cooling system, the way he actually did it looks like a moonshine jug. Pretty much. That's exactly what I'm talking about. Like I said, his cooling system was moonshine jug. It's got the copper coil and everything. So it's really neat how he set this up, and it runs. He got it out the one day, took off, and there was so much power with this thing that it twisted the drive shaft in half. And I watched him in his house or in his garage. He went through everything he had, found a thicker pipe, and literally slapped something back together, put it on there, took it out and ran it. That's neat to me, that going to the World of Wheels, there's a whole section called the Chop Shop. It's rat rods and so getting to go and see, I might not know a lot about cars, but seeing how these guys put these together, that's something. There's trucks that have bed lining on the outside, spray on bed lining, and then they paint it over it. Gives it this really neat crocodile, look, like crocodile skin. So that's where I start having an interest in them. And then we're like, maybe we can hang out afterwards. We'll grab something, if they don't have food, which they should. We were thinking about jumping on McKnight Road and going to the Indian restaurant, Taj Mahal. If it's early enough and we can get there in time, go to McCann's, go to Wahlburgers. And if we still run out of time, we can make it all the way to Cranberry and go to Buffalo Wild Wings. We can go to the Quaker Steak out there. Or just, the fact that these guys, all they really want to do is they just want to hang out. Speak of the devil. Yeah, I am. I'm excited. It's something, I tried very hard to instill in the people I was working with when I was working at Universal. And it took like an act of Congress just to get my one buddy, my closest work friend. At work, you'd have thought him and I were brothers. I mean, we worked well together. We fit. And I'm like, dude, let's meet up for a beer after work. I mean, there's the Kaufman House right there. There's this small place. Let's just run down to North Park Lounge. You could not get these guys for nothing to sit down and drink a beer. You'd ask one of the, there was one driver in particular. We kept saying, dude, you want to meet up at Fisher's? I normally don't sit down, and I could think of twice that me and Dave were at Fisher's, and next thing you know, here comes that driver. And then he's sitting down with all his friends, and it's like, okay. But they never wanted to do anything, we had opportunities to go to Steeler games, baseball games, Pirate games, something. And to get them to do anything outside of work was just impossible. Why? Well, I've seen you all day at work. I don't want to hang out afterwards. I'm not here to make friends. So that's one of the biggest positives for me where I'm working now is most of the guys there, and Dan being one of them, is kind of a spur of the moment. Hey, let's get together and go grab a bite to eat. Let's go hang out. When I first brought the idea, I'm like, dude, I know you're a car guy. You want to go check out World of Wheels? He'd never heard of it, knew nothing of it. So the first few times we talked about it, he was kind of like, eh. And I think at one point he actually sent me a message showing me that he'd looked it up, and then all of a sudden he was starting to build some excitement for it. And then before you knew it, we had other guys who were listening in. Oh, I want to do this. Okay, sure. The more the merrier. hell, we were talking to Mike. Mike might go just because, you know. And to me, that's, you know, like I said, I can go to the Selling Outlaws. We're going to have plenty of opportunities. Hell, we got April coming up, which is going to be a fun little excursion. Good news is you're going to be in mine and Sarah's neck of the woods, so finding a place to stay is not going to be hard. There's a lot we can, there's a lot of corners we can cut to do this. So in reality, since I know you questioned it, it wouldn't be hard to find a place to stay. That's a given. That's an easy. Food's not going to be a hard thing. It'd be just like going to any other place. The only difference is we're traveling 600 miles to go see them in a sizable venue. You know what I mean? It's just kind of, but yeah, I mean, that's, I don't want to keep using the word camaraderie, but that's, I like that. I think the opportunity to get out and blow off steam, to kind of get out of, we hang out, but we work all day long. Do we laugh and joke? Oh, hell yeah, we do. We try to make it as fun as possible, but at the same time, it's still work. So the opportunity to get out, hang out, and just actually, be ourselves, that's what I like about it. And yes, Kitty Cat, you and Blue are more than welcome to come along, depending on which direction you guys want to go. You can either go south with us to Pittsburgh, or you can go west to Ohio. Either way, it's going to be a fun time. Chase that one. Time to break into the big boy. I don't think I've had this version. The only thing I don't like about the ice machine, it comes out wet. So when you put it in the freezer, obviously it wants to turn to a clump. That's a pain in the ass. But even you admitted, Kitty Cat, that you guys weren't real big on getting out and about, and you guys were just kind of homebodies. Hell, the first few times you guys joined us was on the computer. Oh, you're just hoping that Saturday has no. I haven't paid much attention. I have to look it up, but I am seeing, I can see at the bottom of the screen there, we're getting winter advisories. So I don't know. Sure as hell going to be cold. But since you're on here, brother, and we're talking about it, has anybody else confirmed that they're wanting to do it? And no, if he's watching, why you are not driving unless you're driving yourself. Sorry, buddy. This is where it's going to get really fun. I'm going to pour it over top the ice. This is a monster right here. Doesn't have nearly the aroma that the Makers does, but the one thing I like about Jefferson's over Makers, I feel like it's a lot smoother. Wyatt is for sure supposedly. You know what the bad part is? I understood every word of that. I know I haven't got a chance to talk to Hooper. he wants to go, but I don't know. The only other person I could message him right now, and he'd be like, "Yeah, I guarantee Connor he's gonna be game for it." So at the end of the day, yeah. Like I said, to answer your question, Dan, yeah, I'm excited about it. I like the opportunity to get out there and do something. I like Pittsburgh. Don't like driving in Pittsburgh, but I like Pittsburgh. I mean, there actually, if you look, there's a lot of stuff to do. There's always something to do. Hell, once we get done there, I mean, we're going to be like a hop, skip, and a jump away from North Shore. So maybe go and check out Jason Aldean's restaurant again. I went there with Sandy back when they were up for the graduation. I doubt anybody's going to really want to go into Tequila Cowboys, but hell, I don't even want to go back into Tequila Cowboys. All right, here we go. I'm not gonna let Blue touch that one. Ooh, that's fucking smooth. It's 130, so obviously it's gonna have the burn, but it's good. It's official, folks. My favorite bourbon is Jefferson's. That's just there's no ifs, ands, or buts. I think I need to go ahead and Hooper wants to go ahead and pull the trigger on getting the tropical age. So why not give it a second chance? Maybe I just because I mixed so much of it that day at Good Times. Thank you, beautiful. No, I mean I can't stress it enough. I'm a people person. I that's why I'm constantly I'm trying to get Sarah to open up. Oh, okay. Outdoor car show type person. That's all I've usually been to is all outdoor stuff. So the actual indoor one I've been to is the center in Botech. So that being said, though, I mean, I know in the summertime you're constantly, I remember you saying that you go to a lot of car shows. I think he's been to Franklin. Personally, I really enjoyed the one I went to just right up here at Hubis, up past the outlets. That was fun. I think car shows as a whole are fun. And I'm not gonna lie, when I took Connor to that one, he went nuts on the raffles. Like they were giving away toolboxes full of tools and all this other fun stuff. And like I said, there's always something to do. I'm one of those geeks. I do like going to car shows, but seeing as how I'm not the biggest car guy, like I said, I do appreciate. Yeah, okay, so when Dan says, yeah, I do the annual cruises for the Hubis one. Does that mean you just go and check them out, or do you sit down and or do you take a vehicle and show it off? Because I think that'd be fun too, just to be able to sit back and show the Pimp Edition count. He literally does have a town car, and we keep joking with him. We need to get him like the giant pompadour hat and the fur fringed jacket. Get him a Pimp Daddy cane. If we had the time to do it, I'd have him go to Pittsburgh like that. Trust me, there's a whole joke that goes along. He's got the pimp ride, so yeah. And anybody that gets to meet this fine young man, he the last thing you would expect is anything. It's a root Cops will get the line. Oh, okay. So okay. 70s Cadillac Eldorado. It is the pimp car. I just want to go out and find a Cadillac sometimes. It's an old Cadillac, a beater. I mean, can you imagine that club? You know, you've heard of the Corvette clubs. People have Porsche clubs. There's Jeep clubs. There's, you know, there's Camaro clubs. Just everybody gets together and forms a pimp ride club. You know, I'm thinking like the Broms, or I'm sorry, as the pimps call it, Brohams. You know, just any type of caddy, and just make it as obnoxious as possible. Nice 70s caddy land barge, finds in the 80s Lincoln. Honestly, at the end of the day, I just think it'd be fun, you know, just it'd be a whole new variation of Pimp My Ride, you know. But I want to be loud and obnoxious. I want it to be like dark purples and tiger skin and, you know, a lot of fur fringe inside, like the tassels and maybe the disco ball hanging from the rear view mirror, you know, something. Get the big waspy, you know, sunglasses, the deep hat, you know, just go all out with it. At some point, we'd have to like go a step further. Then we're putting like, you know, the hydraulics in it. We're doing the lift kits, and all we're doing is flipping switches. We're going up and down the road. I think, see, something like that would be fun. And what better way to learn a vehicle? To start from scratch, which is something I want to do with my kid. Just find a beater, and both of us can learn. We'll sit down and figure it out as we go along. You know, there's so many. You know, I've always wanted an F-150, or not an F-150. I'm sorry, an S10. It's the 90s, late 90s, early 2000s Model S10. They are so versatile. You can do a lot with them. And I was within a breath of buying one. Me and my buddy Daniel, different Dan, drove all the way from Crossville to Cincinnati to look at one. To the point where I even had a check from the bank. I had the loan and everything. They gave me a, preemptive check. We go up, and when we really dug into this thing, yeah, it was rusted out. It was rotted out in places. I mean, so really all he did was take the pictures, the best parts of the vehicle. He likes to work on cars as a hobby, and his dream car is Lincoln Continental. Fuzzy dice, but they broke 3 times. Oh, okay. I was telling him the same thing. He needs to go like leopard or, something just. I think it would be fun to get an old panel van, the old slide, like a 70s model, and put a couch in the back, make it an actual party van. Get something, off the wall. And I thought it would be fun to set it up where, like, I could become a mobile DJ. Put a power system, some sort of generator in there, be able to power my speakers and everything. Bed sheets are awesome. It has black fuzzy dice. It even has the I just said I want to start a club, and look at this. I already got I got 2 members right there. I'm starting a club, and I don't even have a vehicle to be a member of the club. Jeez. The only ones I really can't stand are these ones that, super these little clubs. There was one that was driving around town at one point. I've seen it 2 or 3 different times. And I'm sure it's not politically correct to say this, but turns out this is actually a car term. It was riced out. This thing had the most obnoxious flames going down the side. It was the loud, like, give your cup 2 shades darker. That's what color this thing was. And the flames were outlined. I mean, this thing was just ugly. It's all get out. The most god awful, the loudest rims I've ever seen on a vehicle. Like I said, I've seen it 2 or 3 different times, but then I found out that yes, here in Grove City, there is a large Subaru community. So I'm assuming there was some sort of gathering somewhere, and this, whoever it was that was driving this, oh, wow. Like, it was just one you couldn't pay to ride in it, let alone drive it. And I'm usually not that picky. It's, whatever, but I guess even I've got limits. You're not a car person at all, are you a car person? What's your go-to now that you got candy in your mouth? That's your question. You're a Chevy girl.
I'm drawing because I helped build one literally from scratch.
And Dan had asked me one time what was my go-to, and I'm not gonna lie. For some reason, I don't know what it is. I've always been a Mustang guy. So I mean, when I saw, we've all seen the movie John Wick. He had the boss, and the true unicorn of that, particular Mustang is the 69. So when they had that on there, I was just like, I was through the roof to the point where I actually saw it at Walmart. You could do the little model kit. And I thought about it. I like some of those old, I used to think it was a Bel Air, and I can't remember what it is now. And me and Dan were trying to look it up at one time. Like it was either a 50s or a 60s model, and I can't for the life of me remember what it was. And the Mars Rumble, which is a giant car cruise, there was one section that just had all these different, I'm trying to remember what it was, but I mean, we were looking them, I thought it was a Bel Air, and we kept looking it up, and I just couldn't find that particular vehicle. But I will say this much, that is an extremely expensive hobby too. Especially with older vehicles. Now you're trying to find, a place that actually has the parts that match, or work with it. Maybe that's also one of the reasons why I like working in the garage. You see all these different vehicles, and I think Dan will remember what was that car that it was a kit. It literally just was,
Okay, so picture that car. This color.
So it's a light blue.
It was actually sky powder blue.
Okay.
It's the actual paint color.
So muscle. You like muscle. Here's another project I think would be fun is taking some of these older cars and making them as up to date as possible. Like on the outside, they look like the vintage, type, but once you get on the inside, everything's, you got the digital GPS or whatever, So the outside, let's say it's 59 Bel Air. On the inside, it's going to be like a, we're talking Jetson. It's going to be, I just think it would be, I don't know, maybe that's, a little bit of my dad that kind of rubbed off on me. He always had thoughts like that. What would it be like to take an older car and update it to today?
I don't know. We got it at turned under the frame. Put in racing bucket seats,
Okay.
a roll bar, the bucket seats with the racing harnesses for your belts. Drop. That's fun. I work into that car. And I was the tiny little one that could fit into the places that the guys couldn't. So I was literally like in the car where the engine would be, directing it in, and then going down under while they're laying this engine basically down on me.
Right.
Yeah, laying down and then pulling it into the spot and holding it in place. Yep, that's good. Okay, stop.
Well, like I said, I've never been a true, the mechanics of a vehicle, I've never fully been into. I guess maybe I'm more the vanity guy. I like how it looks. I like how it sounds, I like how fast it goes, or, but this used to drive my dad nuts when he would always look at, vehicles for me. And it got to the point he would say it so many times that, shocker, I would start saying it just to piss him off. Man, I'd look good in that car. Don't I look cool? And he would get so pissed off. He doesn't give a shit whether it runs good or if it's good on gas or anything like that. It's as long as he looks cool. He used to get so mad. But that's the thing about me and my dad. See, he doesn't realize that one of the things I did learn from him was how to push buttons. He was just as notorious as I was. That's why old Blue over there, trust me, I know when you're doing it, and I can dish it right back. That's probably why him and I get along so well sometimes. But since he's on here, I'm going to throw it out there right now. Blue, I know a person that is the king at pushing buttons. And he does it in such a polite way. Our boy on screen right there, Dan. Mm-hmm. We have I get the biggest kick out of it to the point where I know him and the Hoop both. You know what? You guys you go this way, you go that way. Because they will go back and forth. Dan is definitely one of those people, he has to have the last word. The sky's blue. No, you didn't factor in. Oh, but see, he gets it. But here's the thing. He's not one. I don't think, Dan. I don't think you do it like maliciously. I think you do it more just. There is some spitefulness behind it, but it's more mischievous spite. So, I mean, again, that's and the one thing that Hooper said before, is very, very true. Hello, Miss Sandy.
Hi, ladies.
Hello, Joellen as well. So, I mean, you can't
know about this contest on Saturday.
What contest?
You're supposed to dress like the
The sexiest outlaw.
So, Dan, here's what we're going to do. We're going to go from World of Wheels, and then I'm going to fill your tank, and we're driving over to Long Boys, and I guess we're going to pimp ourselves out after all. Dress the part, not ourselves out. Uh, um, I'm not gonna lie. If I do, it's gonna probably be a little later than usual because I already said that I was going to go to Pittsburgh with some friends of mine. I mean, the opportunity to meet, the town. That's right. The town car is hibernating right now. So you tell me we're taking the truck. Oh, good. We're driving a Ford. That's all right. When me and Connor went, I had the Ford. And luckily, the garages they actually do have. They'll say truck entrance, car entrance. That's the fun part about trying to take a sizable vehicle. But Sandy, we are going to. Well, we could all take a VW. Nah, negative. I see where you're going with that. No, 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 no. Don't even put that in his head anymore. So one of our other compadres that wants to go. Not only does he want to take his girlfriend, I almost said girlfriends. It's a weird situation, but he wants to drive because he'll get there faster than all of us. He barely trusts the vehicle he has now. No, I'll be more than happy to drive. That's fine. But now, apparently, if we got this contest going on, I guess apparently may have to try and pull a double header. Which, if it's any any help on your end on this, Dan, the place has got good food. It's another chill, laid back place, and the music's going to be on point. I guess it all depends on how long we all stick there because the plan is to come home, change, and literally head straight out on Saturday. So it's possible. It's plausible. What's he saw? Not faster than me, and I can control it probably better than. Again, that one is also hibernating. So yeah, apparently you need. Dude, what is your winter ride then? Honestly, you have a truck, but I don't think it's a truck that can fit many people. I could fit 5 in mine. I know this much. Come summertime, dude, we're definitely going to hit some of these car shows. And if you've got some ends, we know a really good band that would love to play. Yes, Miss Sandy. We're here. The truck is my winter vehicle. Gotcha, brother. I don't know. It's fun because everybody's got that older truck, especially Ray, who's got the diesel. So he's going to go out and like let it warm up for like 5-10 minutes before he can leave. That's kind of like why I like my simple economy F-150. You just go out, you can start up. Did she dip out when I was like answering that question?
He is going to Pittsburgh, so if he comes over to the show, it'll be later. Blue and I are still up in the air. Are we going to Long Boys on Saturday? Yeah, it's up in the air depending on work schedules and weather. Of course, last year coming over in a blizzard, we made it there and back. So
Yeah, I'm kind of interested in seeing when that weather is supposed to kick because if they're saying Pittsburgh's supposed to get 10 to 12 inches on Sunday, is that starting early morning or what is going on with that? Are you looking up what longitude headers are? Because I sure as hell, I mean, dude, you know me, I'm not Sandy said she got you guys. But Sandy, there is a group of us going to the big car show in Pittsburgh at the David L. Lawrence. And then I don't know. I'm going to pitch it to those guys that they might be game for jumping over to Long Boys afterwards. I mean, that's, for Dan, who's not the biggest night owl himself. At least we know the bars close at what? 12, 1? Definitely earlier than here. That's a bowling alley. But I do like the contest idea. I mean, that's, show up as pimp. Basically, what is it? Sexiest or, sexiest outlaw. I don't think there's anything in my wardrobe that says sexiest outlaw. But I am almost 100%. I can slap something together. But on that note, guys, we actually ended up going into a little bit of overtime. It was fun, dude. We had people come on and talk and run it. So, sexiest or best outlaw? Well, Sandy, come on. You have to admit it. You already got the sexiest right here. I don't even need an outlaw costume. Dude, don't look at me with those eyes. I think we can possibly make something happen. I don't know. We're gonna throw it out there and see what goes on. But guys, we're gonna wrap this one up tonight. Make sure you check us out Sunday for our Sunday night weekend hangover. Obviously, we're gonna have some stories. It's gonna be fun. I can't win. I'm an employee. Well, I'm not, and I will win. So maybe I shouldn't show up and give everybody else a chance. We got our Monday night bartender coming up, our Wednesday night open bar, and of course, we round it all out with our Thirsty Thursday thoughts and shots. You got one for us, beautiful? Oh, here we go. Let's hear it.
Never forget or never regret a day in your life. Good days give you happiness. Bad days give you experience. Worst days give you lessons. But the best days give you memories.
As we all know, I'm all about the memories or lack thereof sometimes. Let's do it. Final shot of the evening. Yeah, Dan, I am excited. There's a reason I'm excited because I cannot push enough. I tell Sarah all the time, I cannot be a hermit. I can't just, there are those times where sitting and chilling is fine. But, I like company. Now, does that mean I need to be a social butterfly and constantly do stuff and, constantly have to run? No. It could be something as simple as, what do I always say, Kat?
All games in dark.
And when I say ball games, we can just go up to the fucking park, watch some of the, the local team, something simple. Just sitting back, everybody, how about a cookout? Hang out there in a bonfire. When you get the opportunity though like this, World of Wheels, all the different, I'm even stepping outside my comfort zone because I don't know the inner workings of a lot of these books. I just know a lot of them by name, and I'm going to be going in there going, man, that thing just looks awesome. And I'm sure I'm going to have people, that are going to have the knowledge over me and be like, those things are. That's not the point, though. The point is getting out. That's my decompression, especially with the group I'm going with. We're working together day in, day out. And instead of having to worry about, who's going to do this, why is so, where's this person at? Why? No, this is going to be, we're all going to be chilling, loving life. You are very welcome, and thank you for the hospitality. Honestly, that was fun, and we are looking to do more in the near future. But whether it be, a Southern Outlaw show, car show, like I said, it's going to be something that's, like I said, it's not work. Does it cost money to have fun sometimes? Hey, believe it or not, it doesn't matter what you do. It's going to cost you money. Even if it's just sitting on your couch, you're still paying for the subscription for wherever. But, looking past all that, just the opportunity. Yes, exactly. If you enjoy it and like something, that's what matters. Well said, Dan. Kind of stole my thunder there just for the fun of it. Let's see what you got going on. Now, like I said, sometimes you have to go outside your comfort zone. Try something new. I've said it a million times, and if 6 9 was here, it would drive him nuts. There are way too many small pleasures out there to sit back and be idle. Can't be afraid to take a chance. Even if, let's use Dan for example. He's not a big bar guy, but yet he came out, didn't he? And had a fun time. So, Kat, we were just saying it earlier. You guys were more of a homebody. You said until you started hanging out with us, starting to meet everybody, now you're going out and doing all these other things, and it's a whole new world.
Yeah, the bad thing to really get was to get to the club.
So awesome. And you guys, do you regret any of it? Made some friends? Doing something different? What more can you say? So on that note, guys, like I said, I can't wait. Kitty Cat, I see your back teeth swimming. We're going to wrap this up, guys. We will see you all again Sunday night. Looking forward to talking to you again here real soon. Everything we say on this show is just our opinion. But then again, glove. And what very good alcohol it is. Guys, we'll talk to you all Sunday. You have a good night. See ya.
Thank you for stopping in and listening to the Another Shot podcast. We shared some drinks, stories, and laughs. But it's time to say goodnight. Join us next time on Another Shot podcast.
If you're looking for a party, then man, have you found it? Now the shot is coming raw and unbounded. The whiskey's always talking and the beer's overflowing. Now the shot is gonna hit you with the mind overloading. The bar is always open to no inhibitions. Another shot will leave your sensories twitching. Just remember, everything we say is just our opinion.